Hi guys, Steven here with When Nerds Have Nightmares, where we meet at the intersection of horror and pop culture. I mostly post train/Halloween Village content, but I started my crafting journey making dioramas, primarily to make bases for my Funko Pops. But as you can see, some of them leave quite a large footprint, and I'm running out of shelf space and places to put more shelves. But I'm not going to stop making them, so my goal is to make new ones, smaller, and eventually to remake some old ones, smaller and better. So thanks for indulging my quick photo dump of past projects, so you can get a small taste of my style and flair, mostly keeping the cutesy aesthetic of Funko Pops. Today we're making a Funnybones diorama, similar to Funko's, but these are just cute skeletons. And I got this Raven one as a gift sometime back. We'll look a bit later, but first here's some crude drawing of the plan. This drawing is about as good as I can do, not my skilled medium, but it's just a rough plan for me to look at, and I guess now you guys. Here's our funny bone guy, Alan. We're making an Edgar Allan Poe themed diorama inspired by The Raven. He's a similar size and style to a Funko, so it should make for a familiar experience. It did not. I start by cutting some basswood into squares to act as the walls. I have the back wall, now I just have to cut the two sides and make them magically appear. I've never been good at getting that trick right. Kids, don't use a flexible, i.e. shaky tripod on a shaky desk when you're going to be making shaky motions. Anyway, we're going to be putting a bookcase on the left here and squeezing a writing desk on the right. Here I'm cutting a rounded triangle window for the back wall. Using shallow passes was necessary but took forever. The wood was pretty thick, so I had to score it several dozen times, but then I'm left with the satisfying task of popping it out. Boop. Dry fit so far. Oh hi, didn't see you there. This? This is a bookcase I made off camera. Not on purpose, but I just completely forgot to hit record. Anywho, I made it out of some more basswood. It's a snug fit, but the desk will be about the same depth. Quick explanation of how the bookcase was made. Strips of basswood cut to shelf size, mounted between two longer boards, adorned with an arched piece that was super easy to cut out and not at all frustrating or finger cutting, and a back piece. That we're going to glue on now. Let's talk about the base. This is a 4x6 photo frame I found at Goodwill for $2 and change. Small footprint, and there's this nice thick piece of foam inside that I can carve our floor into. This is the easiest part of the build because this type of foam takes the carving from a pencil mighty nicely. For stones, I just carved stonish shapes. I had to do a second pass through just to deepen the recesses. Using a balled up piece of aluminum foil and rolling it across foam is the best way to achieve easy stone or brick texture. The close-up results speak for themselves. I painted the stone floor with black Mod Podge. This gives it a base coat as well as gives the foam a little more structure. And while I had the paint supplies out, I painted the bookcase a rookwood red, trying to be a little light so the wood grain still shows through. And I did the same with the walls, using plantation pine. These larger wood panels warped from the amount of paint on one side, so I had to paint the back side just to even them out. Normally I wouldn't worry about that. These are the four colors I'm painting my stones with: dark blue gray, pewter gray, zinc, and granite gray. I'm going to paint these stones differently to reduce uniformity. Now to increase uniformity, I made a black wash: water, black paint, and a little dish soap. This sinks into all the cracks and texture I made earlier, as well as brings all the grays closer in color to each other. I cannot stress how hard it was to keep my hands steady enough to make a bead of hot glue as thin as these walls, but thankfully it turned out okay. I got them to cooperate eventually. A couple areas needed paint touch-up. Moving on to books, I start by cutting foam into 1-inch strips. Then I can stack them and clip them into random sizes. I made strips of cardstock the same width as the foam. These will be our covers. Quick and dirty book tutorial. Dot of glue, foam, another dot of glue, fold over, trim up, done. Rinse and repeat 60 or so times. And I'm left with an assortment of books in varying sizes. For some books I just kept stacking foam until I had large volumes. I took some excess cardstock strips and rolled them tight into these little scrolls. Fits nicely into the little nook up here and adds some flavor because I'm adding a writing desk next. This took way longer than it looks like, but I went through all my dark paints and made these samples using some reference images to rule out certain colors. But I'm left with a few greens, some reds, a few blues, and then mostly neutral colors because, you know, books. I've got my books randomly sorted and my paints out. All these colors means let's take out the wet palette. But first, a new sheet. I love watching a new sponge get filled with water. And then a new sheet is laid down, and once the excess is poured off, we're good to get started. Okay, now I'm going to show you the painting of all 60 books. You get a little dab and paint it on. Got it? Make sure to get the spines, alright? Now 59 more. Enjoy this long montage with Taylor Swift's new single. Nah, can you imagine? I'll just show you them once they're finished. And we have a little army of bookmen. Using some soft blacks and browns, but mostly metal colors, to adorn these spines with ornamentation. Random lines to indicate text block. And I'm overall pleased with this look. Definitely reads as a bookcase. I got so excited with how it looks dry fit that I forgot to record, yes again, the making of the desk. With literally no game plan and running out of wood scraps, I kinda just winged this honestly. It's an amalgamation of several different reference images, but I didn't measure anything really. Just got lucky and did a lot of sanding. I had just started painting the desk Prussian blue when my record finished up. Want to see how I decide what to listen to next?
Alexa, pick a record.
Here's a number between 1 and 26. It's 6.
Thank you. That is Mirage Fleetwood Mac. Nice.
Say hi, everybody. Great album. I bought this Gundam a while back and had a piece break and another go missing on like step 3, so the whole kit is now a bash box. So let's see if I can't find something to use as our brass inkwell. I like this cannon thing. I'll paint it brass. I'm going to fill the inkwell with black UV resin to act as ink, duh. But I'm going to secure the actual bird feather from one of my birds in it. Let's go meet the guy.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Thanks for your feather, Behan. That's Behan. And that's Hanzo. She's afraid. And that's Frost. Hi, everyone.
I tried my best to write this small. This is the opening lines from the Raven poem, Once Upon a Midnight Jury and all that jazz. I made these heckin' cute candles by covering some broken toothpicks in hot glue. Really was that simple. I just manipulated the glue tip to make it look drippy. All I have left to do is to paint them ivory with a black wick. Everything's glued in place now, and that's our writing desk done. I'll probably add gold ornaments on them when I can procure some, but this is one of my favorite mini furniture builds I've done so far. I mean, look at this inkwell, and the little scrolls. It was optimistic to fit several pieces of furniture or decorations in here, but it's working. I went to school for theater and helped build a number of sets there. That's where my carpentry skills were unlocked. Anyway, the 7th thing they teach you is not to paint the back of sets because who the hell cares? Who's going to see them? So we would write notes to each other, or actors would write cues or line reads on them. And now that I've mentioned Taylor Swift twice, I can use her names in the tags. I have MS, so please ignore the shaky hands for this slapped-ass soldering job. I soldered 2 whites and 2 blue LEDs together to create a moon glow effect. Surprisingly, I got everything to work on the first try and was left with this cool spider-looking thing. I sanded a piece of acrylic to act as our window. This frosts the window and helps diffuse the lights a little better, plus it just looks cooler. I found this tiny picture frame in a less used room of the house. This picture I found from Facebook, which probably means it's AI, but I have a hard time telling at this scale. This is Lenore with the Raven. I painted an iron crossbar in the window and secured it to the back. White lights aimed up high for the moon and blue down low for the ambiance. Not my worst lighting job. My big dumb hands blocked the entire shot, so here's a recreation for the curtain. I just took some of this felt material and folded it over itself into an accordion shape. Easy. Now we can do some reveal shots.